It's your boy Ego again. I got a new single dropping on the 14th. It's called Untouchable, inspired by Biggie Smalls and Pretty Lights. So today I'm going to be breaking down how I made Untouchable. I'm going to go track by track through everything so you guys know how you can remake it if you want to. I took that sample of Biggie that you heard and I kind of built the song around it, and now it doesn't sound much like Pretty Lights. It still is inspired by Pretty Lights, but let's go ahead and just do a breakdown of it real quick. So we started out with just these basic samples. And then I went and chopped them up with just a little bit. So like if we go down here, so you know you have that lower frequency. Sounds like he's like down a hall, maybe under some water, and then you got one that's right in your face to go into the build. Let's get into the drop. Here's my sub. So that one obviously has some automation on the band 1 frequency, which is the high frequency. Triangle, down 2 octaves and about 80% of the way on the volume. And I do have a volume automation, I'll get into that in a minute. I like making my subs from square waves. I did a little filter with the low 18 with your cutoff at 65 hertz, drive at 16%, and the fatness at 12%. And I only use one LFO for this sub, but I did send it to a couple different places. First place I sent it to was by level of my sub. I set it at 86% to 100%. Second place I sent it was my filter cutoff, and that was at 65 hertz. And then my volume for oscillator A is at -3 dBs or 83%. I did nothing in processing for the FX. I did all my processing in FL. So that's the LFO sub. Let's move into the bass lines. As you can see, I have some automations on the bass line to begin with. Let's start with bass line 1. And for that one, we did use a preset. I'm not afraid to admit it. I don't care. We used a direct out sub with a triangle wave, -2 octaves, set to 33. Oscillator A is -2 octaves with a distorted bass drop wave. Oscillator B has seconds and it's up 7 semitones. 2 unison on oscillator A. We have a bunch of LFOs that we'll get to here in a second on oscillator A. Nothing in unison on oscillator B. Also, we're going to set that oscillator levels all the way down to 0 for this. We did use a filter, a flange plus. We got the cutoff set to 1021 hertz. The resonance set to 8%. Your drive at 0. Now we did use 4 different LFOs for the sound. If we go into the first LFO that we sent to the sub, we're going to keep that sub at 33%, and we're going to send that LFO 100% to 100%, so it'll sound like. And we're going to take our second automation for our LFO, and we're going to send it to our wavetable position. Wavetable position should be in 1 position and be sent to 18. There, we're going to select FM from B, set it to 0, take our LFO, drag it over, drop it on FM from B, and then we're going to take our LFO and take it to 52. We're going to take our level, turn it to 0, and then we'll set it all the way up to 92. Actually 3 more automations for this LFO. The next one is an oscillator B. We're going to set it to 1, and then we're going to drag it up to 2 with our automation for LFO 1. Right here we're going to click sync half window, and then we're going to set our level there to 1%, and we're going to take it to 11. Or I'm sorry, LFO 2 has a wave shape form like this, and you'll see how it works here. And these LFOs, one was set to the level here, and we set that all the way to 0. Then we're going to go all the way to 100 with that automation. And then our next one is our cutoff. Cutoff is going to be set at 1021 Hertz. And we're going to take it down to negative 13 Hertz. We've got a little bit of distortion, a little chorus, a little hyperdimension, a little flange, equalizer, a filter, and a phaser to round this all out. I'll get into a more in-depth video where I break down all the settings. Our next sound let's break that down real quick. This one is the same, except for we changed oscillator B to a wave terminal. We set our cutoff a little higher at 1954 Hertz. And we took a lot of the processing off, so we're only using distortion, equalizer, and reverb on this sound. And that's the only differences. So if we want to listen to this sound first, and then listen to this sound, very similar. Move this back over. I'm still down 2 octaves here, up 1 octave here, and still at the 7 semitones up on oscillator B. So you see, not much has changed except for this waveform and LFO, or this LFO. Number 3 we're going to look at here. Okay. So that is the same sound. Now what we've done here though, so these are in essence the same sound. One is just on a separate track, so I can run this frequency automation to it without disturbing this guy here. So of course, when we're building these songs, you know, you got to have a, I don't know, a lot of people use bridges anymore, but I love bridges into my builds. Sometimes I'll use some layered like snares and kicks and just to add more energy and toughness to the build. Which leads me into our next bass sound. Let's break it down from the top. So for starters, we have a sine wave down 2 octaves with my levels set all the way up. My sub is being sent to my filter, and I'm using the low 6 with my cutoff at 42 Hertz, my resonance at 0, my drive at 44, and my filter variance at 29%, or my FAT. Distorted 8-bit flop and analog sine in the oscillator B. We're sending the flop six unisons up. My detune is set to 0.23. Blend is 33. Phase is 180 degrees. My rand is all the way up. My wavetable position is all the way down. I have selected sync. 1.01% is the setting. My pan is even. And my level is set at 0. That is also sent to my filter with a low 6. Oscillator B, the sine wave, is set 2 octaves down. Set to 3 for unison. 0.17 for my detune. My blend is at 48. My phase is at 182 degrees. My wavetable and rand again, or rand is all the way up. I did select FM from A, and we set that to 41%. My pan is again at 50%, and my level is set to 39%, or 16.1 dBs. LFO. We have 16 automations that we've sent this LFO to, and you can see them all get lit up right here. So for starters, this is the sound. Okay. When we get there, LFO automation 1 is for the sub. We're setting that to 41. Automation 2 is set to negative 48. Blend is set to negative 8. Wavetable is set to 60. Wavetable is set to 67. Sync is set to 26. And my level is set to 15. For oscillator B, my wavetable position is set to 77. My level is set to 39%, and then you stretch it to 34. My apologies. My cutoff also has an automation on it, set to 42 hertz, and then I'm going to stretch it down to 71. And last but not least, well, I guess it's not last, and second to last, we have so if we add it all together, this is what we get.
Every time. I give up with my ass every time. it up in that ass every time, every time.
And as always, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This really helps my work get out, get seen, and get heard. Much love, y'all.